Divide that by 40, and how many work weeks are you talking about that you've given away? 25, 26 work weeks, which is a half of a year.
Like, am I going to stay true to my beliefs and my core and my essence of who I am as an individual, even if I get a paralyzed right arm and hand?
You got to go back to work on Monday. You don't play for that team. And it's time you wake up and start getting focused on your own life. I'm not saying don't watch the game.
There are going to be times that you're going to just struggle and you're going to be tired, you're going to be weary. You're going to want to quit, you ain't. Going to have nothing left. But you still got to carry on, live your life, ladies and gentlemen. Be excited about life, regardless of the struggles, regardless of the circumstances. Get excited about being above ground and not under it. Walk with your head up high and live your life. How many of you have been in a competition?
And I remember calling out to my wife and said, "Sweetie, hey, have you seen my keys?" She said, "No, I haven't seen your keys." I said, "Sweetie, I need my keys." And then my wife said, "Sweetie, check your pockets." Now, when she said this, I was insulted. What you mean, check my pockets? Why would I have to check my pockets? Don't you think I would know if I had my keys in my pocket? So you just think I'm dumb. Okay, so you just think I don't know nothing. And then guess what? I checked one of my inner pockets, and guess what had happened? I found out that I had my keys way down deep in my own pocket. And I started laughing, and my wife started laughing, and what I realized is that it is possible that you could be looking for something that you already have.
Now, I just want to add one last thing to that. My wife, I called home some time ago. It doesn't happen that often. I've got 4 children. And I called home, and the phone is in the family room where the television is. And I was talking to her on the phone. She said, "Do you notice anything?" I said, "No." She said, "Do you notice that it's silent here? There's no television on in the background where the kids would normally watch." I said, "What are the kids doing?" She said, "They're all reading." I said, "Isn't that incredible?" All 4 kids sitting around the turned off television in their own books, reading.
And you hear all the statistics that people watch television, and I basically made those statistics growing up. And my wife said, "How about if we pitch our television for the first year of our marriage?" And I said, "Why on earth would we do that?" And she said, "Well, I've heard that it helps you communicate, and you have to talk together and that kind of thing." So I said, "Okay, fine, we'll ditch the television for a year."
It is possible that you are looking for something that's already in your pocket. It's possible that you are looking for a relationship that you already have. I know you think, if I knew her, I knew him, but can you do me a favor? Can you open up your own phone contacts and can you start looking through your phone contact? Because you might find that the person that you need to be linked up to, you already have their number, but because you're not looking in your own pocket and you're waiting for something to show up, you don't know what you already have in the midst of you right now. Oh, I know you're waiting, you're waiting, but what if the knowledge that you need is in your pocket? Yeah, you got enough books on your shelf right now to change the world. You keep going to buy new books, but what about the old books? What if you already have the knowledge and the information that you need to start the business? What if you already have the knowledge and the information to get over that hurdle? What if you already have the knowledge and the information, but because you are waiting for everything to come together? What if you already have the thing in your pocket right now?
And at the end of that next year, December 31st, 1989, I was the biggest fanatic of not having a television. And when I was doing time management seminars, I used to ask people, how much television do you watch? Because the very conservative estimate would be 20 hours a week. And people say, oh, no, nobody would admit they watch television 20 hours a week, but we'd make them go through and just add it up. And okay, so the morning show, and of course the news for an hour, and then a football game on the weekend, and you add it all up, and most people got into that 17 to 23 hour range. But what really is powerful and what they've been saying is have you ever added up what that equals in a year? 20 hours a week times 50 weeks, we'll give you 2 weeks off for vacation. Of course, I watch all my television on vacation now. When I go away, I get to catch up on it. But if you have 50 weeks times 20 hours, it's 1,000 hours.
Where you push yourself and you worked so hard and you pushed everything you had within you. And then you got so close to the finish line. Your legs gave up. You didn't have nothing else left in your legs. You couldn't run a little bit further. You couldn't pedal the bike a little bit faster. Because you've had nothing else left, that's when the grinder must come out. That's when you got to dig a little bit deeper. That's when you got to go out there a little bit harder than you've ever done in your life. So you'll always find yourself starting off on the right path. You start off, you're feeling good, you're running, you're doing everything that you need to do. But it starts to get harder things.
Am I going to stay true to it? Even if my little career that I thought I was going to have disappears, am I going to stay true to it? Even if one day I'm in a football game, the thing I love to do, the thing I have been practicing my whole life, and then one moment it gets wiped out, am I going to stay true to it? Because depending upon if I'm going to stay true to it, a lot of other people's belief in their Christian journey is predicated upon that and my belief in my Christian journey. In other words, I've seen a lot of other people say, Inky, I want to give my life to Christ, not because of something that happened with me, but because of something I seen happen to you. And so when ESPN comes to me and say, Ink, you wouldn't be in the NFL right now? I'm like, if you only knew. If you only knew my father got saved because of my injury. If you only knew.
But being obsessed with it throughout the week, who's injured, who's hurt, are we going to win? We aren't doing anything because you don't play for them. In fact, players trade teams so much, what you really are rooting for is like laundry. You root for the team that has like this jersey that's your color, but the players change all the time. Yet you keep rooting for these teams. What a catastrophic, and I mean this as love, because I'm a sports fan. I love the Red Sox, the Patriots, I'm a New England area sports fan. But I don't really get real caught up in it. I go to enjoy the game once in a while and how great they are as athletes, but what a catastrophic waste of your own life to be worrying about what professional athletes do and pretending to be on their team. You're not on the team. You don't win or lose. They do, right? They do. So wake up and get focused on your own goals. I can hear all the women going, amen, tell him, preach, right? Ladies, in your cases, it might be your sports team.
It's hard to push it back, life starts. To push you back, people start to push it back, everything around you starts to crumble. You have nothing else left to give. But then you got to find something else. You got to turn on that grind switch. You got to get down and dirty and nasty. If you got to do what necessarily is going to take for you to get what you want. And you got to go out there with everything you got. For every moment that you have, this is the chance to do it. Just keep on grinding.
My 3 boys that went first round to the NFL, all of them got saved. If you only knew. If you only knew my mother, the level of her faith, like if you only knew. Like I just seen God do some things through the injury and I'm like, man, every day I wake up, I just try to stay out of his way. I'm gonna leave you with this. We already know what to do when God says yes. We already know what to do when we get blessed. We already know what to do when our prayers get answered. But the question that I have for you, and it's rhetorical, what will you do when God says no?
It might be your politics. It might be the television star. It might be some author you love. It might be something like that for men or women. For women, some of you it's sports as well. But the fact of the matter is all of these things are a distraction from our own lives. You don't play for these teams. You're not on these shows and you don't know these people. And whoever wins a Grammy or an Oscar doesn't change your life. You winning in your life is what changes it. So tune out the distractions, will you please? Turn your TV off. Get focused in your own life. Invest those hours on podcasts like this that actually impact your life. Invest it on someone's social media like mine who's actually putting out messages about your life. And by the way, I say this as somebody who has many of these people on my show. Many of these people that you admire are friends of mine, as many of you know. There are things to learn from them. Absolutely. They're at the top of their craft. But I'm not deluded into thinking a top NBA player is any better a person than a top school teacher.
The moment has come and there will be obstacles that you must face, and for each obstacle it will represent something about you, your greatest victories, your greatest failures, but nevertheless, you must rise above it and you must conquer every obstacle that comes your way. Are you strong enough? Are you willing enough for you to what it takes to do it? Necessary to adapt and overcome. This is the moment that every living person that is at the start line is ready to cross the finish line.